Hi there, welcome to Apple World. Is Angelina Jolie going to lose the guardianship fight argument against her ex, Brad Pitt? The previous several has been engaged with an unpleasant care battle for just about 5 years. However, it presently seems as though the case could be settled very soon in light of the fact that Brad Pitt's legal counselor recently uncovered stunning insights regarding Angelina and deciding by late proof things are not looking really great for her. The fans have asserted for quite a long time that Angelina attempted to demolish Red's vocation and notoriety, and presently Brad's legal counselors are likewise terminating back and pummeling Angie for attempting to control the case. So have Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have been legitimately isolated for very nearly 5 years. Yet their awful guardianship fight is still continuing, and the exes keep on battling for the equivalent freedoms for their 6 kids. 19-year-old Maddox, 17-year-old Pax, and 16-year-old Zahara, 15-year-old Shiloh, and 12-year-old twins Knox. What's more, Vivian? In spite of the fact that Angelina and Brad at first attempted to keep away from court, they essentially couldn't arrive at an arrangement in light of the fact that they were not entirely settled to get full authority. Over the course of the last few years, Angie has been blamed for utilizing manipulative strategies to dishonor her ex and keep him from seeing his children. A few fans have even contrasted Angelina with Johnny Depp's ex Golden Herd. What's more, it said that the two ladies have lied about their spouses being vicious. Recall when Golden heard a lie about Johnny Depp? That's right. I will have a hard time believing Angelina Jolie until there's obvious evidence. One fan tweeted, adding that a few ladies take drastic actions just regardless of their exes, which I've never accepted. Golden Herd and, without a doubt, never accepted. Angelina Jolie, someone else added it for the people who are curious about Angelina's side of the story. She fundamentally guaranteed that Brad was genuinely forceful towards her and the children. There were a ton of hypotheses at the time about the genuine explanation for Angelina's separation, particularly after it was uncovered that Angelina requested sole actual care. TMZ detailed at the time that Angelina became taken care of up with the Brad drinking and partaking in weed and experienced his resentment issue made him hazardous to be around the children. The report guaranteed Brad got into an actual squabble on a confidential plane with his child Maddox, who was 15 at the time. As per TMZ, Brad crossed a line he had never crossed before by thrusting at his 15-year-old child and connecting with him. Obviously, Brad and Angelina got into a contention over Brad's strut. King and Maddox hopped up to verbally shield his mother right now. Brad lurched at Maddox and Angelina in the middle between them to obstruct Brad from harming her child, a source near Angelina. Likewise, later guaranteed that the issue wasn't just about Brad's drinking and said the entertainer needed to separate from Brad since she was truly stressed over the security of her youngsters. Yet the fans were as yet incredulous, and gradually they began revealing pieces of information that Angelina was lying, and it appears as though Brad's legal advisor additionally upheld those cases. Sources near Brad began standing up and guaranteed Brad didn't commit any of his youngsters. It's sad individuals included are proceeding to introduce him in the absolute worst light, one source near Brad told TMZ. Meanwhile, as a feature of the impermanent guardianship understanding, the court conceded Angelina full care of the children, while Brad was conceded appearance privileges, and the cases got so crazy that Brad was likewise explored by the Lap and La Province Division of Youngsters and Family Administrations for supposed verbal and actual maltreatment of his kids, and a specialist must be available during Brad's gathering with the children, and since Angelina had likewise recommended Brad generally disliked liquor and weed, the entertainer was subject to irregular and liquor tests anyway, after Brad over and over tried negative for any substances and was cleared by the DCFs. The fans began saying the entire situation was planned by Angelina as a feature of her slanderous attack against Brad. More sources near the circumstance began approaching and uncovering Angelina for lying about Brad going after Maddox. One insider told individuals that Brad didn't purposefully hit Maddox and made sense of that. There was a parent-kid contention which was not dealt with in the correct manner and raised more than it ought to have. The source added that Brad was unequivocal that it didn't arrive at the degree of actual maltreatment and that nobody was truly hurt. He didn't hit his youngster in the face in any capacity. He didn't do that. He put his hands on him, yes, on the grounds that the showdown was spiraling crazy. The source shared. The insider likewise blamed Angelina for purposely dramatically overemphasizing the episode to acquire an advantage in the guardianship fight, and said the charges against Brad were a blend of Angelina's distortions and lies. So on the off chance that she caused nothing to harm his children, we can't help thinking about why Angie is so hell-bent on demonstrating. In any case, we keep thinking about whether this is on the grounds that she's pungent about their marriage finishing and needs to get back at him talking about Angelina and her lawful group. The source said they have taken the generally littlest part of truth that a battle went crazy and arrived at a lamentable pinnacle, and that subsequently DCAFs is investigating it, and they are controlling it to best suit their endeavors to acquire care, yet Angelina was as yet not withdrawing in. After Brad were mentioned to have all the court reports fixed from general society to safeguard the security of the children, Angelina and her superstar separate from attorney Laura Wasser utilized this to turn current realities in support of themselves, asserting that Brad was panicked that the general population would become familiar with reality anyway. Proof against Angelina's adaptation of occasions continued stacking up, and she began losing the public help. In January 2017, the entertainer consented to have the court archives fixed to safeguard the security freedoms of her and Brad's kids, which essentially demonstrated she lied about Brad being terrified people in general would get familiar with reality. As of now, it seemed like the previous life partners had at last arrived at an understanding that was to everybody's greatest advantage. Yet it before long turned out that Angelina was simply plotting her next manipulative move. By the mid-year of 2018, Angelina apparently got restless with the authority fight getting long and requested the court accelerate the procedures. She previously attempted to blame Brad for not paying significant youngster support. However, her arrangement blew up after Hollywood Life got reports showing that she never mentioned kid support in any case. Brad's legitimate group likewise terminated back, uncovering that the entertainer paid more than $3 million in youngster support and lent Angelina $8 million so she could purchase the home in which she, as of now, resides. So Brad was giving kid support as well as supporting her monetarily, and Angelina still lied pretty much every last bit of it. Brad's legal counselors likewise guaranteed they were the ones who requested a speedy separation, while Angelina continued to record extra reports that were determined to build the contention. In November 2018, the previous life partners at last agreed with Angelina holding in excess of 50 guardianship and Brad getting additional time with his children. Yet think about what Angelina was still harsh. She didn't get her direction. The entertainer evidently thought Brad got more care time than he merited, and an insider uncovered that Angelina simply consented to the plan since she would have rather not needed to haul the children into court and make it much more awful for them. Well, that ended up being one more untruth in light of the fact in October 2020, the care case went to preliminary and Angelina got her 19-year-old child Maddox to affirm against Brad such a great amount about her cases that she would have rather not damaged the children by hauling them to court over the beyond 4.5 years one. Source said there have been various cases made by Angelina that have been checked on and not validated. The kids have been utilized by Angelina to hurt Brad previously, and this is a greater amount of that way of behaving yet. You understand what they say, the wheels of equity grind slow, yet they grind fine. In May 2021, following quite a while of severe legitimate volatile, Brad at last figured out how to score a significant triumph in the care fight. Page 6 revealed that Judge John Outerkirk conceded Brad joint guardianship of his and Angelina's youngsters following quite a while of witness declaration, including kid administration's experts who talked with the Jolie-Pitt kids and other people who have been around the family. Remarking on Brad's lawful win, a source near the entertainer said Brad was simply attempting to have more time with his children, and it has been certain that Angie has done all that could be within reach to forestall this anyway. The decision was provisional, and reports before long arose that Angelina was still up in the air to battle for full authority. Well, not good enough for Angie on the grounds that it presently appears as though it could be the ideal opportunity for her to tap out Angelina clearly. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.